Haven't I heard of you? You got corpus disease, Outlander. That's a death sentence. It can't get cured. Get away from me. Far away. It's okay, really. I didn't mean it. I was the rising star of House Telvanni until the barely living Dratha and Gothren put a stop to my career. I'm just waiting here in Balmora until things cool off a bit in House Telvanni.
And the race, Guild Guide. I provide instantaneous transport between various...
Should
This
you
is
say
something I will be
happy to...
Please, I don't wish to catch whatever you have.
Have you come to plunder the dungeon? Or have you got corpus disease? Or did you come to see Devaith Fear? I'm Beta Fear. I'm the wife of Devaith Fear. One of them, sort of. You'd be surprised how many people come in here trying to steal Lord Fear's treasures. He does have quite a collection of relics and artifacts, but he keeps them down in the Corprusarium. And who wants to risk catching Corpus disease? Not to mention who wants to get ripped in half. Pity, we don't see many good thieves here, just the stupid ones. He's up above in his study. I hope you can fly. You can't get up there unless you can fly, or have potions. Sorry. You'd be surprised how many people... Everyone who gets Corpus disease comes to our Corprusarium. It's not very pleasant, but at least they're all fed and cared for. Yes, well, not wife in the married sense, but, you know, paramour, consort, something like that. It's a bit awkward, really, because, well, he made us too, so though we aren't really his daughters or anything, it's like we were his daughters, because he made us, you see? I'm waiting. My name is Deltafear. Did you want to see Devaithfear? Have you got Corpus disease? Or are you another questing hero looking to plunder the dungeon? Lord Fear is in his study. I'm sure he won't mind being disturbed. We get few visitors here. You can levitate, can't you? The study is on an upper level, accessible only by the central flywell. I'm afraid we aren't set up to accommodate barbarians or peasants. Understand? Go up the ramps to the Hall of Fur, then walk around, looking up until you see a shaft above you. Then levitate. Up the shaft. Then look for Lord Fear in his study. This is not the Corprusarium. The Corprusarium is in the caverns down below the tower. Just keep going down. You'll want to speak with Upsafir or Visthakai. They attend to the needs of the Corprusarium inmates, victims of the Corpus disease. If you go down there, be careful. Many Corpus victims are completely mad and quite violent. Really? Is that what you had in mind? Don't let me discourage you, but you do know that you are almost certain to get Corpus disease if you enter the Corprusarium, and I hope you understand how frightfully dangerous our inmates can be. And we do have guards, you know, quite good ones. You're free to try, of course, but I don't advise it.
My time is precious, so make it quick.
I will not go into the varying accounts of what happened at Adamantine Tower, nor will I relate the war of manifest metaphors that rendered those stories unable to support most qualities of what is commonly known as narrative. We all have our favourite Lorcan story and our favourite Lorcan motivation for the creation of Nirn and our favourite story of what happened to his heart. But the theory of the lunar Lorcan is of special note. In short, the moons were and are the two halves of Lorcan's flesh divinity. Like the rest of the gods, Lorcan was a plane that participated in the great construction. Except where the eight lent portions of their heavenly bodies to create the mortal plane, Lorcan's was cracked asunder, and his divine spark fell to Nirn as a shooting star, to impregnate it with the measure of its existence and a reasonable amount of selfishness. Massa and Secunda, therefore, are the personifications of the dichotomy, the cloven duality, according to Artium, that Lorcan legends often rail against. Ideas of the anima, animus, good, evil, being, nothingness, the poetry of the body, throat and moan/silence as the abortive and so on, set in the night sky as Lorcan's constant reminder to his mortal issue of their duty. Followers of this theory hold that all other heart stories are mythical degradations of the true origin of the moons, and it needn't be said that they observe the hollow crescent theory as well. The Daedra are powerful ancestor spirits, similar in form and substance to the tribunal, blessed be their holy names, but weaker in power and more arbitrary and removed from the affairs of mortals. In old times, the Kezyma worshipped the Daedra as gods, but they did not deserve this veneration, for the Daedra harm their worshippers as often as help them. The advent of the tribunal, blessed be their holy names, changed this unhappy state. By the apotheosis, the tribunal, blessed be their holy names, became the protectors and high ancestor spirits of the Dunmer, and bade the Daedra to give proper veneration and obedience. The three good Daedra, Boethia, Azura, and Mephala, recognized the divinity of the triune ancestors, blessed be their holy names. The rebel Daedra, Molag Bal, Malakath, Sheogorath, and Mehrunes Dagon, refused to swear fealty to the tribunal, blessed be their holy names, and their worshippers were cast out. These rebel Daedra thus became the four corners of the House of Troubles, and they continue to plague our tranquillity and tempt the unwary into heresy and dark worship. The priests of the temple remain ever vigilant for signs of the adversary's return, sometimes aided by the loyal three good Daedra, who are familiar with the wiles of their rebellious kin. The good Daedra are known to the temple as the Anticipations, since they are the early ancestral anticipations of the loving patronage of the tribunal. The Anticipations are the Daedra lords Boethia, Mephala, and Azura. Boethia is the anticipation of Almalexia, but male to her female. Boethia was the ancestor who illuminated the elves ages ago before the mythic era. He told them the truth of Lorcan's test and defeated Auriel's champion, Trinimac. Boethia ate Trinimac and voided him. The followers of Boethia and Trinimac rubbed the soil of Trinimac upon themselves and changed their skins. Mephala is the anticipation of Vivec, but manifold and androgynous. Mephala taught the Kezyma to evade their enemies or kill them with secret murder. The Kezyma were few in those days and threatened on all sides. Mephala taught the Kezyma to build houses. Later, Mephala created the Morag Tong. Azura is the anticipation of Sotha Sil, but female to his male. Azura was the ancestor who taught the Kezyma how to be different from the Altmer. Her teachings are sometimes attributed to Boethia. In the stories, Azura is often encountered more as a communal progenitor of the race as a whole rather than as an individual ancestor. She is associated with dusk and dawn and is sometimes called the Mother Soul. Azura's star, also called the Twilight Star, appears briefly at dawn and dusk, low on the horizon below the constellation of the Steed. Azura is associated with mystery and magic, fate and prophecy.
Speak, traveler.
I suppose you want to speak to Devaith Fear. Have you got corpus disease? Or were you planning to plunder the dungeon? He's in his study. He's busy. He's always busy. If you've got the disease, go down to the dungeon with all the other monsters. You're smart. Get corpus disease. Get killed by corpus monsters. Get killed by Visthakai. A very good plan. Plunder the dungeon of a 4,000-year-old wizard. What could be easier?
Speak, traveler. Say, that's an interesting Dwemer piece you have there. What can you tell me about it? A gift? For me? How thoughtful and shrewd. I suppose you know I'm a collector, and that such a gift is bound to please me. I congratulate you on your diplomatic skills. So, why have you tried to butter me up? Come to consult the great Devaith Fear? You have the divine disease, want to plunder the dungeon, or leer at my daughters. Not bad for something born in a jar, eh? Charming and talented. Not daughters, really. A little project, a side benefit of my researches into corpus disease. Made them myself from my own flesh. Nice, aren't they? Alfear, Betafear, Deltfear, and Upsafear. Quite a comfort to me in my old age. Ha ha. Alfear is the sharpest of my girls, in wit and tongue. Gets on my nerves sometimes, but conflict is the spice of life. Betafear is the sweet one, eager to please and be pleased, an excellent cook and a lovely singing voice. Deltafear is the efficient one, organized and orderly. She acts as our steward, manages accounts, maintains supplies, keeps the tower and corpusarium running. Upsafear is the girl with the biggest heart. She takes care of the inmates of the corpusarium and helps with my researches. I collect victims of the divine disease in my corpusarium in the caverns beneath my tower. Poor devils, wretched existence, constant pain, ferocious appetites and passions, no reason at all. Mad as marsh rats, but marvelous too in their way. Completely immune to disease, live forever, barring accidents. Ancient wizards need projects to keep them occupied, and the corpusarium is mine. The magical principles of corpus disease are elusive and miraculous, far more subtle and powerful than any conventional sorcery or enchantment. I'm persuaded that it is in some manner the curse or blessing of a god, perhaps both a curse and a blessing. The victim, of course, cannot appreciate the marvelous nature of corpus. It saps the mind and destroys the body. But to a wizard, it is a profound and glorious mystery, a riddle worth a long lifetime of study. How interesting. Did you know that corpus makes you immune to disease? Have you ever heard of the prophecies of the Nerevarine? Ashlanders say the Nerevarine will be immune to disease. I've always thought, maybe I have the Nerevarine down in my corpusarium and I don't even know it. Ha, ha. The Nerevarine is a fat, disgusting corpus monster and mad as a marsh rat. Wouldn't that be funny? That's a fascinating story you tell. So, you might be the Nerevarine. Means nothing, of course. Corpus victims have all sorts of delusions. But, let me think. I've got a potion. In theory, it should cure corpus. Doesn't work, though. Probably kill you. Killed all my test subjects. But you've got nothing to lose. Before I give it to you, I want you to look around below in the corpusarium. Know what's in store if you don't take the potion. And while you're there, I want you to pick up a pair of boots from a victim. Calls himself Yagrum Bagarn. My oldest patient. Handy fellow. Fixes things for me. Bring the boots back, and then you can have the potion. I collect victims of the divine disease in my corporate. When you live for thousands of years, you need a hobby. Something you love always sparks your interest. I collect treasures and invite thieves to steal them. I'm a collector and a sportsman. I collect enchanted items and ancient artifacts, have quite a few Dwemer pieces, and as a sportsman I love letting thieves try to steal my well-guarded treasures. Only a few rules. 1, don't hurt the inmates. 2, don't hurt my daughters. My warden and guards can look out for themselves. Vista Kai, the Argonian, is my warden of the Corprusarium. Quite a fighter, tough as nails, self-taught, works out with my daughters who are no slouches at the martial arts themselves. Vista Kai was one of the last of my slaves. Freed him, and he wouldn't leave. Kept him on as a hireling, then made him my partner. Excellent fellow, fine companion, not an intellectual, you understand, but good company for me and my daughters. Talk straight, none of that flattery.
The writing in the book appears to be a hasty transcription, perhaps from dictation, or copied from a longer work. The posting of the hunt. Let no man say before a witness that the hunt has not been called, nor the rites declared,
traveller.
or the ancient offices observed. The ritual of the innocent quarry, also called the wild hunt, is an ancient rite drawing magical energy from the powerful magica stream that engulfs this realm. The creators and times of the rituals are long forgotten. If followed properly, the rite brings great power and prestige to the huntsman. The ritual pits the all-powerful huntsmen and their greater and lesser dogs against the pitiful and doomed innocent quarry, called by tradition the hare, after the mortal creature of human hunts. At once, the huntsman is transported by the exquisite thrill and glory of his might and dominion over his helpless prey, and at the same time touched by the tragic, noble, and ultimately futile plight of the innocent quarry. In the highest aesthetic realization of the ritual, the ecstatic rapture of the kill is balanced by the huntsman's identification with the sadness and despair of the innocent quarry. As in pieces, the body of the innocent hare is torn, the huntsman reflects on the tragic imbalances of power and the cruel injustices of the world. As the hunt begins, the lesser dogs assemble before the green crystal reflections of the chapel of the innocent quarry. Inside the chapel, the huntsman, the greater dogs, and the master of the hunt perform the rites that initiate and sanctify the huntsman, the hunt, and the innocent quarry. Then the huntsman emerges from the chapel, displays the spear of bitter mercy, and recites the offices of the hunt. The offices explains the laws and conditions of the 4 stages of the hunt: the drag, the chase, the call, and the view to the kill. Stage 1. The drag, in which the lesser dogs drag the ground to flush out the hare. Stage 2. The chase, in which the greater hounds drive the hare before them. Stage 3. The call, in which the greater hounds trap the hare and summon the huntsman for the kill. Stage 4.
Make it quick, Outlander.
The view, in which the huntsman makes the kill with the ritual spear of bitter mercy and calls upon the master of the hunt to view the kill by ringing the town bell. The master of the hunt then bestows the bounty upon the huntsman bold, who has wielded the spear of bitter mercy in the kill. The master of the hunt also calls upon the huntsman bold to name the next hare for the next hunt, though the huntsman bold himself may not participate in the next hunt. The offices of the hunt, which the huntsman, master, and hounds are solemnly sworn to honour, detail the practices and conditions of the hunt. These practices and conditions, also known as the law, strictly define all details of the hunt, such as how many hounds of each sort may participate, how the spear of bitter mercy may be wielded, and so forth. In addition, the law states that the hare must have a genuine chance to escape the hunt, no matter how slim. In practice, this condition has been defined as the availability of 6 keys, which, if gathered together in the Temple of Daedric Rites, permit the hare to teleport away from the hunt and so elude the huntsman and his spear. It is inconceivable, of course, that the hare might actually discover the keys and escape. But the forms must be observed, and tampering with the keys or cheating the hare of a genuine chance of finding or using the keys is a shameful and unforgivable betrayal of the law of the hunt. The ritual of the hunt grants the huntsman protection from all forms of attack, including mortal and immortal weapons and sorceries of all schools. Huntsmen are cautioned, however, that the ritual does not protect the huntsman from the potent energies of his own spear, and cautions against reckless wielding of the spear in close melee, darkness, or other dangerous circumstances. For a single touch of the spear of bitter mercy means instant and certain death for innocent hare or fellow huntsmen alike. The right to name a wild hunt is a grand and grave right indeed, as all but the high Daedra lords are vulnerable to the potent sorceries of the spear of bitter mercy. The spear itself is therefore a terrible weapon, and it is forbidden to remove it from the grounds of the ritual hunt.
You got corpus disease, Outlander. That's a death sentence. It can't get cured. Get away from me. Far away.
Speak. I am Vistakai, warden of the Corprusarium. I am here to warn you, do not harm the inmates. If you come to plunder the dungeon, you must endure their attacks and take your chances with me, their warden and protector. For his own amusement, Divide Fear permits thieves to test their skills by attempting to steal the treasures he keeps below in the Corprusarium. The dangers are fearful. The inmates are savage, and they carry the most terrible disease on Tamriel. The treasures themselves are guarded by traps and terrors, and the guards, myself chief among them, will take great delight in trying to kill you. Those are the rules. Abide by them or leave. I am the guardian and peacekeeper of the Corpusarium. I have spent long years in service to Lord Fear, first as a slave, then as a free hireling, and now as a friend and partner. He has been kind and generous to me, and I take his interests and the interests of those he shelters to heart. The treasures of his dungeon are open to sport according to Lord Fear's whim, and you're welcome to try to steal them. But I, too, find great sport in hunting thieves. I'm a knight. In the West, you need a horse and land to be and do not harm the inmates. I will not tolerate you adding to their suffering. Indeed, they are brutal and ferocious, and they will kill you if they can. But you are their guest, and you may not harm them, or you will answer to me. For his own amusement, Divide Fear in Telvanni district. The few Telvanni tower towns are just big villages with wizard towers. Daedra, you know what they are, right? Well, Daedric's shrines are where Daedra cults worship Daedra. Bad people who summon that Daedra. Stay away from them. Why? Because Daedra are nasty, and the folks that worship them are even nastier. My notion of the ideal knight is an orc named Dumbuk Grogolak. He serves with the Legion under General Darius up in Nisus. You'll usually, at first, it seemed the fuss. fresh game.
You're new here, aren't you? My name is Upsi, Upsafir. I take care of the Corpus victims in the Corpusarium. Be careful if you're going to prowl around down here. We will be very angry if you hurt any of our patients. And our patients can be quite a handful, I'll tell you. Strong as Ogrim and twice as mean. But they seem to like it when I play the drum. Quiets them down. There's a drum around here someplace. They wander off with it sometimes. But find that drum and bring it to me, and I think I can calm them down for a while. I can calm the Corpus victims with soothing drum rhythms if you'll bring me their garskin drum. It must be... Yes, that garskin drum will do perfectly. I'll take it and play a little soothing rhythm, and I think that will pacify the poor Corpus victims so they won't be so savage and aggressive. They do seem to find the drumming comforting, poor things. I think they'll be a lot more peaceful now. Be careful if you're going to prowl around down here. The Corprusarium is just one of Dyvaithfir's many projects. Our mission here is partly humanitarian, partly research. He has been searching for a cure to Corpus disease for a long time. A very long time. But in the meantime, we care for the Corpus victims as best we can. The world outside is very cruel to Corpus sufferers. They are much better off here with us. As you know, he's probably the oldest and most powerful wizard alive. Not counting liches or divine sorcerers like Vivek, of course. And there may be some older in the west, on Somerset Isles perhaps. And I don't think there's a kinder, more generous wizard alive. Not that there's much competition in the kind and generous wizard department, I'll grant you. You're too kind. Your words, I'm sure I've got your words, they make me feel, well, special.
What is it, pest? You have been warned. Do not harm the inmates.
My time is precious, so make it quick.
Speak, traveler. Listen, you are not interesting. No offense, but I don't want to talk to you. I don't trust you enough to talk about that. Go ahead. Listen, you are not interesting. No offense, but I don't want to talk to you. Very well. I'll see what can be done. Show respect. Well, if you insist, I must not refuse. Vista Kai, the Argonian. When you live for thousands of years, you need a hobby. Something you love always sparks your interest. I collect treasures and invite thieves to steal them. I'm a collector. Yes, I know. You've got corpus disease. But did you get the boots I sent you to get? Because I'm not giving you any potion until you've given me the boots. Well, did you get my boots? No boots, no potion. The boots first, please. And now I'll give you the potion on the following condition. You must drink it here before my eyes. It should act immediately, and I need to observe you very carefully. Agreed? Good. Open your mouth and close your eyes. Good. Now swallow. Goodness. Good grief. Look, it's working. Remarkable. Let me check your skin, your eyes, your tongue. Amazing. I think it worked. No sign of the disease at all. Of course, you still have corpus disease, just like I planned, but all your symptoms are gone. Marvelous. I'll go try it out on some of the more desperate inmates, but I'll answer any questions you have before you go. See? No more symptoms. Amazing. A bit surprised myself. The magical principles of corpus disease are elusive and miraculous, far more subtle and powerful than any conventional sorcery or enchantment. I'm persuaded that it is in some manner the curse or blessing of a god, perhaps both a curse and a blessing. The victim, of course, cannot appreciate the marvel. Thank you for your gift. When you live for thousands of years, thank you for your Delta Fear is the efficient one. Not bad for something. See? No more symptoms. Amazing. A bit surprised myself. It worked, didn't it? Remarkable. Perhaps it will work on the other inmates. I'll have to proceed carefully, of course.
Yes, Breton. What do you want?
Is there something I can do for you?
Well, oh, look, an outlander. What do you want this time, Outlander? I'm not going to buy that skooma from you. Get rid of it. What do you want this time, Outlander? 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 What do you want this time, Outlander?
Yes, Outlander, what do you want? What do you want?